wonder if the replay speed is too fast. Anyway, match 3. This one is against Derp Ghost and the Dancing Spirits. This team gives me a lot of trouble because it also has things that pretty strongly counter mine. We'll get into that. Another turn 1 hex coming from me. I hexed the Daradillo because, you know, hexing Brosliden isn't going to do quite as much. I probably should have, though, because this is a Hyper Spike Brosliden. Oh yeah, I should explain Derp Ghost team. It's kind of a sustain team, which is the big issue for me. They have a Furfolks and a Supalera with Tag Out, but also a Hyper Spike Brosliden, Burnout Daradillo with Quick Tag again. A lot of tagging on this team. Yeah, all 3 of these beasties have Quick Tag, and 2 of them cause healing to happen when they tag out. There's also a Dispel Charily. Against this, I heat up against this Hyper Spike because I just assume it's going to target the Mystic slot, and I don't want to swap into something that's just going to get wiped by Hyper Spike anyway. But that forces a free ball turn. And also basically, you know, forces my Delusia to get wiped. Yeah, relaxed hit too on the Charily. There's so much healing in this team that I just really failed to break through. I basically have to target the Charily with any Quake moves that I use, because otherwise the Charily will just dispel. I also don't know what to do against the Supalera, because the Supalera has Demolish, which is continually clearing my Dread Mist, when I very much would like my Dread Mist to be up. So I Cyclone it out, only to remember that it just gets 50 free HP when I do that. And also I swap in the Brosliden, which gets to just be wiped immediately, instead of sitting on the bench at, what was it, 14 stamina as a liability for the rest of the game. Yeah. Also don't know why I tried to Torch Pass there when I know they have Provoke. I think I didn't know they had Provoke at that point. Thankfully, though, I have a Mystic on my team, when most of their big attackers are body. I also just don't even bother setting up Dread Mist anymore. At least not while Supalera's on the field, because I don't want it to just get deleted instantly. Yeah, I hex the Furfolks so that it can't be quick tagging, because I don't want it to quick tag into something, but it just swaps out normally instead. So the hex is a little bit wasted. Another good thing is that Linopter has a lot of body defense, so other than clearing my Dread Mist, the Demolish doesn't actually threaten me too much. But it does wear me down a bit faster than I can wear them down. Especially now that Lunopter and Mystic are both sweaty. Although Torch Pass does cure that. Yeah, again, not even bothering to set up Dread Mist, just heal Hydrome. Another 50 stamina for Supalero. I don't know if this Supalero wipes even once in all 3 of the games I play against Derp Ghost. This is, I guess I would say, a bold play. Hyper spiking the Mystic. I guess they thought I was going to switch out, or maybe they just didn't have any better options. But they don't even aim at the Hydrome. I guess because Demolish isn't on the field, they didn't want me to Dread Mist? I'm not sure. For the previous two matches, I went and watched the replays before I did the commentary. But for this one, I know all three of these games are super long. And it's kind of just a very grinding back and forth. Supalero tags out, gets 50 stamina. They can't hit Mystic, so they hit Hydrome. Hydrome Deep Breaths. Yada, yada, yada. Burnout Daredevil, on the other hand, can basically one-shot Mystic. Hang on, let me check. Is this a one-shot? Nearly. Very nearly. I swap out because I just don't want to keep Mystic on the field. Although I probably should have. There's a lot of misplays that I'm seeing looking back at this now, nearly a week later. Like, why didn't I just keep Mystic in, and I could Hex the Cheerilee, and then there'd be no more Dispels for the rest of the match? I don't know. Anyway, and I lose on a 50-50 at the end. I think I expect the Frou Folks to quick tag into something, but Derp Ghost just goes for the no-touch here. Win or none, if only. Alright, game 2. Same opener as game 1. Burnout against Mystic. This time I Dread Mist instead of Hexing. I don't think the Hex and the Daredillo did very much. And also, I learned that their team isn't so scary on using Quick Tag to switch into dangerous offenses. The way that a lot of teams use Quick Tag, this is more just to trigger the tagging in and out traits. Always very funny to see Daredillo immediately go from the good pose to the fall pose. Yeah, Rally Burnout, whenever I can set it up, pretty strong. But the team isn't that weak to Spirit, and I also haven't worn it down nearly enough yet. Stagecraft once again, coming in extremely clutch. And we kind of just go back to the same thing. I switch in Mystic. They don't have any damaging body attacks. I set up Mist. Mist gets deleted next turn. Another thing that prevents me from wearing down this team, actually, is that the Cheerilee has Cheer, meaning that even if I could just... Well, I literally can't stall forever with, like, Mystic and Hydrome, because the Supalero is getting stronger and stronger. And then whenever they have to switch out the Supalero, they don't even lose any momentum, because they get 50 stamina back for doing that. Derp Ghost tags in Daredillo to scare out my Mystic, but then goes for the Delusion instead. I can start threatening spikes. And finally, their Cheerilee is off the field. Actually, I think it's pronounced Cheerilee, which I don't think has happened yet in all of last game or this game. I might be wrong there. Finally getting some good wearing them down action. Their mistake, I think, was switching in Brosliden, because it kind of just can't do much. I don't know why I Cyclone there. Oh, right! I Cyclone because, again, I expect them to quick tag and go for some kind of threatening attack, but instead, they just take the no-touch again. More of the classics. Hydro and Deep Breath. Supaleral Demolish. I think I really, really misplay in these games. I should be trying to wipe out that Cheerly because it is half the source of all my troubles. But I get so hyper-fixated on this Supaleral. I just want it gone. I want it out of here. And I do it! Kind of. Not a point, but with the Supaleral wiped, I don't think there's really anything they can do to stop. Sort of my whole team, but even Charon. Although, Acrobat coming in clutch here. Coming in even more clutch, though. Stagecraft. No matter how many boosts you get. And yeah. That's game 2. Really thought I would have more to say about these, but upon reflection, it kind of is just Cheerly and Supaleral doing the same thing for most of the match. And then whenever they swap to anything else, they start to lose, and then they immediately get their momentum back when Supaleral comes in. These games made me really, really wish that I had Freeze Ray on Mystic for more damage instead of the Slice. Oh. They do a quick tag for offense, but Hyper Spike doesn't do much against this duo. Here I finally hexed the Cheerly. Took me 2 games to figure that out. Wow, I'm making some misplays. I wish I'd done this sooner after the tournament run, so I could sort of remember my decision-making more. Yeah, I just took all that damage on Delusia for no reason. I guess the timing just sort of isn't right for me to make use of the tired Cheerly. Burnout Rally serve. Doing good work again. Thankfully, Demolish doesn't negate Stagecraft. It would be pretty bad if it did. These games are also making me regret having Spike as the only attack on Lunaptra. I couldn't exhaust Blue Mask there because I had to move up Luna. Yeah. Very, very bad position I'm in currently. Do I get the Mystic guess right? I don't. Okay, maybe Slice is good, actually. They're not always on the diagonals, but they often are. And yeah, I just don't see this quick tag coming and lose. Very good team by Derp Ghost. A lot of very slow sustain and then the surprise offense.